We are going to draw a guide card to study it. The guide cards are advice cards. It is not a predictive card, but it is used to know how to face a specific situation. Today we are going to draw one and we are going to explain it in different areas. The card that has come out is the Tower. Well, the Tower card is a very interesting card because at the beginning it rejects us. Usually, it seems like a dark card. The image is really like that because we see two people who are falling from the top of a tower that has been struck by lightning, something super dramatic, terrible. This letter has many details and we could go into its explanation, but in general what the Tower means, or as I understand it, is that it is liberation by force. It implies a shocking situation, in the sense that when the Tower appears, for example in a predictive role, the Tower is saying you are going to experience something that is going to shake you, that you are probably not going to like at all, but that is going to allow you to get out of a structure false, get out of a false idea, get out of a situation that is not true. It is difficult to explain it so briefly, but I always give the following example. If you find yourself one day that your partner is kissing another person in the street, that is a towering situation, because you believe that your partner was faithful to you, and that you could trust that person. You believe that your relationship was impeccable and suddenly it is not. It was not impeccable, and you realize, in my relationship it seems that the person I am with was not as I thought. This is a very basically explained classic example of what a ROK situation might look like. Now how do we take this to the interpretation of a guide chart? Well, the Tower itself, that is to say the figure of the Tower itself, represents a human construction made to protect us, elevate us, separate us from reality, put us higher, and also generate a zone comfortable and familiar. So, in that sense, it can represent a lifestyle, a series of habits, for example, a way of relating to others. A relationship itself can also be a tower, a professional path, etc. What is constant is that the Tower will always represent what is false, that separates me from what I really am, from what I can be, that does not take me where I want, that somehow I get into inside and I feel safe, but deep down I know that I am putting myself in prison, that I am limiting myself. So when we are in a situation in which the Tower appears to us as a guide card, it is not saying you are going to have to act like that lightning. For example, if I am in a relationship in which I am dissatisfied for some reason, perhaps deep down I feel that I am not in love, perhaps I feel that I really cannot stand the other person, or I feel that it is not a good time to be in a relationship with no one. And well, I get this letter, so I would be saying say it, express it, although you know that this is going to break the structure. It is going to break the image in which the other person had to be, that maybe he is happy swearing that you want to marry him or her. That could be a towering attitude. We are going to put a specific situation that could serve to explain the guide letter. For example, suppose you ask about one of your daughters that I see is very passive, that she does not want to explore anything, very attached to the screens, either the cell phone or TV, and you see her and you say, this girl, I know she has so many talents, so many abilities. I know she has passion because there are certain things that I know she is passionate about, but she is just there, immobile, and perhaps it is very difficult for me to give myself the space to be able to help you get out of that state. Here we see that she, the daughter, is stuck in the Tower. Above all, this can happen when we are on vacation because it may be that she feels comfortable, away from the world, watching my programs, looking at my things on the phone, but deep down she is losing her life, losing her childhood. She is stuck in a tower far from the world, far from her possibilities. Then how would we act like that, Ray? What could we do? Because the question would be, what do I do to break that structure? Probably it is not necessary to confront it, but it would be to seek to break the daily routine, break that continuous inertia. For example, suddenly say every Tuesday and Thursday we are going to go to Qigong class, or hey, what would be great to do this afternoon? Structure, for example, it could be in a work situation or a business. For example, what kind of boss am I? If I am super accommodating because I don't want people to leave me and I put up with everything, or I end up doing things myself, the Tower would be in the bottom line is to break my own belief that if I am a little more demanding, not authoritarian, but use authority more healthily, if I get firmer I could ruin everything. Well, you have to break that habit that you have of running your business that way, and that it's super comfortable, that it's an uncomfortable comfort, that's a restrictive habit. So when you introduce a new behavior, you break this structure, and well, you have to be aware that this can effectively cause temporary chaos to arise, because after this collapse there remains chaos, but from chaos, a new order can emerge. This is the idea of the Tower, to create a new order, but first, for that, you have to break the prevailing order, whatever it is. The Tower Tarot card is a major arcana that is not specific. It can be applied to thousands of situations, it can have thousands of ways of manifesting itself, but that is basically a liberation by force, the breaking of a limiting structure or a belief system or a limiting life system, that is. So I think it was clear with the examples. It would be super interesting if you also add your vision about these cards like the Tower but as a guide card.